One. Uh-huh. Yeah. Do 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 Godzilla. That is okay. I did not even know what that was, but but that I think that was me losing my mind of just how bad this movie is. But hey everyone, this is our first ever YouTube watch along. We've been doing this for quite a while now. Since I think is this like May we started recording, Billy? We did this as our first watch along in May, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so this so because we thought that that we had a good rapport with each other, it would be a really good idea to start making the expansion to YouTube. So here we are. We're doing a watch along of 1998's Godzilla, which is a great movie to kick off your YouTube career. I'll tell you that
Well, let's
much.
just hope that this
Uh,
ends up on YouTube and, all the technical difficulties that we went through weren't for nothing. Here's the
You're right,
hoping.
Billy.
So yeah, this
Um,
is the opening credits, and right away we know it's bad because, Matthew Broderick.
are we start? I bet if you started playing it.
Oh, shit.
I haven't started playing the
I
movie
haven't
yet.
started either.
Oh, shit. Well,
Oh, don't worry. But while you go back, my name is Matthew Farrelly. I'm actually a film critic for the SE9 local magazine. I've been doing reviews for about a year now, and everyone calls me Matthew. I'm joined by Mr. Raul Rodriguez,
Hi, everyone.
and I'm joined by Mr. Billy Pollihan.
what up, what up?
And today we're joined by a special guest, possibly the biggest Godzilla fan on Twitter and or YouTube. It's Mr. Alexander Robinson.
I know a lot of people are probably going to take issue with that. Like, I'm the bigger Godzilla fan. But I will take that compliment. Thank you. It's
No
great
worries.
to be here.
Yeah, let's. This is going to be a lot of fun to do because, it's a big achievement for me because making the expansion to YouTube. I was going to start making an expansion about last year, but I was a bit too worried about doing it. But now because I've grown more confident talking with my friends here on Hangouts, I've decided, you know what, I might as well start talking about movies on YouTube. So this is going to be great. So should we give some context with what this film is for anyone who hasn't seen this movie, which is not a lot of people? So this film came out in 1998. It was directed by Independence Day and Stargate director Roland Emmerich.
It's a good sign already.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. To be fair,
Hey! I like Roland Emmerich.
don't insult Roland Emmerich. He was a big thing in my childhood. I watched Independence Day and Day After Tomorrow when I was younger.
Stargate. It's a really good movie.
I didn't watch Stargate until like 5 years ago. It's and that's probably the thing is that if you watch a Roland Emmerich when you were a kid, you probably would have loved it. Like one of the reasons, like I remember seeing 10,000 BC in 2012, like a lot in the cinema because I was just a massive Roland Emmerich fan. But this was the last Roland Emmerich disaster movie I actually watched, and I watched it when I was about 9 years old because I was a big dinosaur fan. So you could probably tell, and also it was my first introduction to Godzilla. So
I feel so sorry.
yeah. Well, well, to be fair, it's. I can't remember the last time I saw this movie was about 5 years ago, but last time I remember it wasn't very good. But when I was a kid, I absolutely loved it because of just how stupid it was. I have no idea what it looks like now, so here goes nothing. Before we give it to context as well, Alex, would you mind explaining your love of Godzilla for our new fans?
Sure thing. So, I gave you shit for that being the first Godzilla movie you saw, but honestly, this was also the first as well. But like, the thing was, I didn't get into Godzilla until I was about 8 years old. So, around the time this movie came out on VHS. At my school, a lot of my friends kind of pressured me into watching the movie, and so I ended up watching it. But when we rented it from Blockbuster, my dad rented one of the other Godzilla movies, 1991's Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, because he wanted me to see the actual Godzilla. So I watched the Roland Emmerich movie like the night we came home, and even then, like it's like I didn't like it. Like even back as a 9-year-old, there's something about it, or 8-year-old, there was something about it that just didn't really click with me. And then the next morning, I watched Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah for the first time, and that's where everything kicked off. Like I really dug that movie, and then I rented every single Godzilla movie that my Blockbuster had at the time. And now the movies are pretty much like Pokemon. I have caught them all.
Hey, that's a good joke. What's everyone else's experience with this movie? Just for clarity.
Yeah, Billy, you first.
My experience with this movie. So I was on a big Roland Emmerich kick when I was about like probably 12, 13. So I had to watch Stargate. I had to watch Independence Day. That to me is the best Roland Emmerich movie. And then I watched Godzilla '98, and a lot of it was actually due to the Nostalgia Critic because of his review. And I was like, I have to know. And so I found it, I rented it, and it was not good. I do not remember having a good experience, so it's been a while.
What about you?
Yeah, like it was my first introduction to the monster. Like I said, I was in Matamoros, Mexico, visiting my grandparents, and I was with my aunt at the movie theater at the scene when you see Godzilla eating all of the fish and the army is looking from far away. All of a sudden, like 4 big ass rats, they're coming from the ceiling, and they're going all through the audience, and they kick us all out. And like Alex said, that was the true New York experience that we got in Mexico to see this Godzilla movie.
Wow.
But I remember that I liked it, even when I was like, it was 98, right? So I was 9 years old.
98.
I noticed that they were ripping out Jurassic Park at the end with the Godzilla babies.
Yeah, and for context, I'm actually wearing a Jurassic Park shirt, and that was not on accident.
And so, like I said, I liked it the way that I remember it. I haven't seen it in a long time. I'm a Roland Emmerich fan. The only movie that I don't like from him is 2000 BC. That's the only one that I didn't like. I like 2012. I like the Independence Day. Oh, sorry. I hate Independence Day Resurgence.
That movie doesn't exist.
Only 2 Emmerich movies that I don't like.
Independence Day Resurgence makes me laugh because I remember like so many people were so excited for it, and then it was almost like a shock and disbelief that it was as bad as it was, and I'm like, why are you guys shocked? He hasn't made a good movie since Independence Day.
Yeah,
like we all knew this was coming.
But that's the thing, like,
except
like,
maybe
for me, I like disasters movies. For me, disaster movies are my Fast and Furious. I don't care if they get ridiculous or the type of characters. Those are my Fast and Furious. Any kind of disasters movie, Down to Speak, the other one, First
The Family.
Impact.
Deep Impact.
Deep Impact, sorry. Spanish it was called First Impact. And Armageddon, like 2012, oh my god, my parents and I, we loved 2012. We saw it like 4 times in the theaters. Like, Day After Tomorrow. That's the thing, that's our thing. Disaster movies, like we said, The Happening. The Happening is like, piece of beauty.
Yeah, I remember seeing 2012, because that was one of the first times I ever saw a film in an IMAX screening. Like, it was my birthday, it was around about, I was 11 years old when I first saw it, and we had this massive big party at it started at my house, and then we went to an IMAX cinema to watch 2012, and the experience was incredible. But looking back on it, I'm like, it's alright. But but so many people die in that movie. At one point, I was literally turning to my friend during the movie. I was like, stop with the dying. I get it's a disaster movie, but there's even in Day After Tomorrow, not a lot of the main characters die, except for like one.
Yeah, but I think that maybe Emery was gonna go a little more tragic because 2012, the way that it was prophesied that it was gonna be the end, is something more biblical. So I can see why he was killing a lot of characters in 2012 compared to Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah, I was in the middle of high school when that movie came out, and everyone was like, "Oh, the Mayan calendar's ending. Will it happen?" I'm just like, "No, of course it's not going to happen." You
Because it's
like, if it was going to happen, then I mean, now it's 8 years late, and now it's finally happening. But better
now.
late than never.
Yeah, it's happening now.
But
What? No.
fun fact: when that day happened, my school, which by the way, shout out to my secondary school, St Thomas More, comprehensive school. That is by one of the best schools probably in the country. When that day happened, we counted down to the exact day and the exact time when it was supposed to end. And when it happened, I thought there was a big flash, but it turned out nothing happened. And so we were like, okay. Okay.
I was watching the first Hobbit movie the day it was happening, and
Nice.
when I walked out of the movie, or when it was finished, I didn't walk out of it, but when it was finished, I just realized, oh yeah, today was supposed to be the end of the world. I guess that didn't happen.
No, I was with my ex-girlfriend on a park. We're like watching at night, watching the stars, and I'm like, well, it was like 3 a.m. already. The world hasn't ended yet. So she's like, "Can you drop me off?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "We waited for 3 hours for the world to end."
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching the first Hobbit movie with my girlfriend at the time, and that event didn't even cross our minds. It was a good evening. She was freaked out by Gollum, so I just kept doing the Gollum voice because it's good. It's fun to mess with people.
I also saw The Hobbit that day when it happened. Literally, everyone was seeing The Hobbit. That's what everyone was doing.
Not me.
Okay, not you, Raul, but me, Billy, and Alex were watching The Hobbit when the world was supposed to be ended.
So I think the Mayans were just excited to see the Hobbit as everyone else was, so that's why the world didn't end.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, chaps. I think we should start playing the movie. So I'm going to count to 3, and when everyone says, I'm going to do 3, 2, 1, we'll press go. Okay. So Alex, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Pollihan, are you ready?
Fingers crossed this works. If it doesn't, just blame me, and then yeah, you could just be like, "You effing idiot."
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to.
But yeah, I'm ready.
Mr. Rodriguez.
I know you won't, but the internet's never kind. So yeah, no, I'm about as ready as I'll ever be.
And Mr. Rodriguez, are you ready?
Yes.
Then let's get ready to schmodown. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Begin.
Down with the point. Oh, sorry. This is not a Schmodown match.
Yeah, that old TriStar logo. You gotta love it.
Yes, the horse.
Yeah, let's hope that I put the volume down pretty low so it wouldn't bleed into the commentary. Let's just see how that goes.
I'm disappointed that the TriStar logo was in front of this and not Columbia, because I wouldn't have made if it was Columbia, I would have made the Annette Bening Presents joke.
Yeah, and any good Godzilla movie has to start with stock footage.
Mm-hmm. Funny enough, these opening credits are very manipulative, because these credits are like, well, you're kind of sticking to Godzilla's origins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It makes it look kind of a little more tragic.
Yeah, no, the original Godzilla movie is actually a very, very dark, very grim movie. And yeah, it's pretty tragic. If you watch the movie, oh yeah, Jean Reno. Totally forgot Leon is in this movie.
No, a few months ago I saw a video about the Godzilla 2 movie that never happened, the sequel to this one. That accordingly, one of the babies survived, and the whole story was gonna be about that baby having babies and destroying another city.
So it would pretty much be the same thing.
Yeah, it was gonna be almost the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's lazy.
Can we just all take time to appreciate the fact that David Arnold's score is actually really good for this film? I mean, it's nothing.
Yeah, I'll agree to that.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Definitely
but-
not one of the nowhere near one of the memorable Godzilla scores for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, a detail that I remember, that guy from YouTube said that in that sequel, the Matthew brother was kind of like the mother of that Godzilla baby, and he always defended Matthew brother because he was his mother.
Okay,
Oh,
that name that just popped
Christ.
up, the Godzilla designed by Patrick Tatopoulos.
It's
Do
Tatopoulos.
y'all know what else that man was responsible for redesigning?
No.
Is that Batman versus Superman?
He did work on that, but before
I recognize the name from that because I love that movie, and I know that you don't.
But anyway, this movie before this, he was responsible for redesigning the Goombas in the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, really?
Oh.
So when you put it in context of him redesigning Godzilla, that makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Yeah, he's not the best designer. Let's put that nicely.
There's every nuclear explosion in any movie ever. Use
Like
that.
again, like this is like so manipulative because
You got the choir.
that's how like Godzilla's origin would be here.
They always play that same stock footage of. I'm pretty sure that's the atom bomb dropping.
Yeah.
That's not Hiroshima or Nagasaki. That's
no, it's not.
I think
Oh,
that's.
but
the
I've seen
Bikini
that stock
Atoll.
footage before. I know that.
I think that's the Bikini Atoll, like when they were testing the H bomb.
Yeah. Directed by Roland Emmerich.
I like the way that you pronounce Emmerich
Well,
as
well,
Emmerich.
I mean, I say Roland Emmerich. You probably say Roland Emmerich.
It's that
Tomato.
Yeah.
it's that British accent. You gotta love it. And that's not like shitting on you or anything. I like it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean,
Is this the boat that goes to San Diego in Lost World?
Wrong movie.
actually, no. To be fair, Lost World is a Godzilla movie in the last 20 minutes.
Yes.
a
Hey,
better
you know what
Godzilla movie
those
than
guys
this
were dealing with?
That's a good point, Alex.
You know what those guys were dealing with just now?
What?
A lot of fish.
Oh my god.
Knew that joke was coming.
Nice.
Yeah, no, you're gonna get that joke sparingly, but you'll get it.
Now I want sushi.
You know, here's something like as a Godzilla fan, there's something interesting about this opening also. Because there's a Godzilla movie that came out a couple years after this, where they kind of like jab at this movie, like saying that like a monster attacked New York City in the 90s. One Japanese soldier asked if the American attack was Godzilla, and his friend
Oh, shit, was
says,
that the dude from The
"That's what
Raid?"
all the Americans claim, but our guys have doubts.
Nice.
So
Oh shit,
would
I'm
like
pretty
to
sure
think
that's Mad
that,
Dog from The
since
Raid.
They don't show Godzilla until, or I'm sorry, they don't show Zilla until a certain point in the movie. I like to think that this is actually Godzilla.
Oh.
Like this
Yeah.
is actually Godzilla attacking that ship, and then he doesn't appear. And then what happens later on is just another monster.
It's his evil twin, like in a telenovela.
Yeah.
No, just
I'm
another
pretty sure
monster
that I
the
saw
dumb Americans
Mad-
assume is Godzilla.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just saw Mad Dog from The Raid get attacked, and now we got Matthew Broderick singing in the rain. Like I don't know what it is with horrific events that just like, and he's in Chernobyl. What is it with like these horrible things happening and Singing in the Rain being played? I mean, Clockwork Orange.
This is the only guy I've ever seen to be so cheerful heading in Chernobyl.
Also, you're not wearing any. You're not using any Geiger counters. You're not checking for any radiation. I mean,
No radiation suit.
Yeah. And-
Ugh.
Earthworms.
Oh, I didn't remember that they were in a relationship before in New York when they meet in New York.
Yeah, because she mentions it later on.
Oh.
That is an old ass helicopter.
He's pretty lucky that he still can listen to music without that much rain on his headphones.
That's true.
Yeah, especially in the 90s.
I never thought of that.
Oh look, it's General Morshower from the Transformers films.
Or General Morshower in real life. Because they did not even... like for those shitty movies, they didn't even bother to change his last name.
Also, I
Topopoulos, it's Totopoulos. You get it? It's Greek.
So he's part of the both universes?
Even though Matthew Broderick
Please do
is...
not try to connect these two.
Yes.
Also, fact check. I swear he died in the first movie, and then he came back as the same character in the second movie. Am I right?
What are we talking about? Transformers?
Yeah, we're talking about Transformers, because that's the only thing I remember. When I watched Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, I was like, "Oh, wait, did he die in the first movie? Oh well."
You remember
It's not
Transformers:
like
Revenge of the
those movies
Fallen?
even cared about continuity.
Yeah.
Because the same robots keep coming back from to life and dying in the next one.
Yeah, sure. Now I want to see Michael Bay's Godzilla now.
Don't you?
Oh,
Dude,
No, don't tempt the fates. Also, this is gonna be a bitch to edit. Sorry, Matthew.
It's alright, don't worry.
We're all talking over each other and everything. Sorry, I'm really sorry.
Don't worry, it's fine. I can edit it.
Yeah, there's also coming up. You'll see certain cast members of a certain show.
Oh yeah.
They all appear in this movie, and it's a weird connection.
It is.
Oh, I don't know this. I'm gonna be surprised.
No, you're gonna know once you hear their voices.
Okay.
One for sure, if you've watched
So
the
right
show.
here, when the old man's like saying Gojira, that still backs up my theory because Godzilla's such an iconic looking monster that no Japan if this was connected to that Godzilla movie that I mentioned beforehand, no Japanese person would forget what Godzilla looks like.
I always think of Austin Powers when he's just like, "It's Godzilla!" No, but due to international licensing issues, it only
Yes.
looks like Godzilla.
Yeah.
That's Hero from Heroes saying that.
Yeah, I knew you would
yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah, there's a weird recurring joke with like nobody being able to pronounce his last name. It's not even a hard last name to pronounce.
So there's two people who would end up in a Transformers movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's Shia LaBeouf's father.
All right, guys, get used to are you expecting the rest of this movie to take place in like bright daytime? Well, too bad because this is the only shot you're getting.
Yeah.
Well, there's one more, but
I don't get
from then
why,
on.
I don't get why every Godzilla film has to be set during the rain time. Is it because Godzilla has something on the weather, or the affect it? I don't know why.
well, it seems like there's only one scene in the Gareth Edwards movie that takes place in the rain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but King of the Monsters, there's a lot of that because King Ghidorah's basically manipulates the weather in that movie.
Also, rain is more dramatic.
That's true. How do you not see that giant footprint when you step into it?
Yeah, no shit, it's a footprint. But what was the But from where was the footprint, or what? I've run out of questions for this movie already.
Mm,
What a strange way to answer that question.
she's horny, so Sony TV. Ah, coronavirus.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Okay, this makes no sense whatsoever. There was no camera right next to Jean Reno. I really do not know how they recorded that.
That Spaceballs technology.
Oh,
Matthew, it's a dramatic shot.
yes, I know, Raul, but just saying. As a film critic, I have to take note of the fact that certain shots should not make sense.
I know, but for me, as a moviegoer, I just see it as dramatic.
Okay. New York City, the setting for loads of movies.
Mhm. Why she's bringing her groceries?
It's a work of all places.
Yeah. Also, that bread is really bad. It's already moist from the rain.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Gotcha.
Mm. Oh, it sounds familiar.
You know, nowadays, he would get Me Too'd in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember I was on BBC News just before I started recording this. There was a Fox News journalist that got sacked for for like misconduct. So even if that guy was on it, or like even if this guy was around today, he would be taken off air immediately if he said something
Yeah.
like that. So
That's Ken Brackman.
Yes, it is.
yeah.
Nice.
Okay, weird transition, but
Tarapu- Mm,
She
she's
wants him.
thirsty. She wants it.
You know, honestly, she's a more interesting character than
The blonde one?
exactly.
Yeah. I totally agree. I'm waiting for Hank Azaria. I remember that I like him a lot. Dun 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 dun.
I will, you know, I will take that over anyone trying to hum the Godzilla theme to this movie.
I don't know the Godzilla team, so the first thing came into my brain when I saw the helicopter was dun 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 dun.
Gotcha.
The Jurassic Park 3 logo.
You know, those those claw marks actually shouldn't be that big. Like, cause those claw marks belong to something even bigger than any Godzilla that's ever existed.
Also, because Jean Reno is kind of like a French spy, if I remember well his role here in the movie. So, is this a Leo the Professional sequel?
Or prequel.
Oh, prequel.
I miss Jean Reno. Like when I saw him in The Five Bloods, I literally was like, "Oh, great, Jean Reno," and then I realised he was playing a bad guy, and I was like, "Oh, Jean, I want you to play a good guy again."
He's in that movie?
Yeah, he's in The
He,
Five
he's
Bloods,
always
yeah.
typecast as like either like a henchman or a bad guy or just like Leon, but he's always French because he's French.
He's always French, but like even in the worst movies he's in, like the Pink Panther movies with Steve Martin, like he's always just a cool guy.
He's got that sweet stubble and just badass quality to him.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder what this moment is supposed to be like. Are they gonna drink to each other's legs?
Again, Matthew, I'm probably going to be sending a lot of links because I had to keep extending and everything. And
Okay.
yeah, just sorry in advance.
Okay.
We're figuring this out as we go along.
All right.
Dun 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 dun. Darum. Darum darum.
Do you guys remember the trailer for Godzilla? Like how awesome like Roland Emmerich's marketing is? Because he would always like have like the best marketing. Like I never forgot that 2012 trailer where it was just like you see this monk ringing the bells by the Great Wall of China, and then you see this enormous wave of water.
Wait, I don't get it. Did they? Is the Godzilla like using his claws just to pull them in, or is he just, or did he just like?
I guess he's got. I assume it's like Jaws, where he's got them all hooked in his mouth.
Yeah, but instead of barrels, it's
I think that
it's
maybe
3
he
ships.
caught on his net full of fish, maybe?
But all 3 boats.
All 3 boats.
I mean, modern Godzilla could probably do that.
No, modern Godzilla would just like destroy them. Like
Yeah, he
wouldn't even
would
bother
decimate
dragging
them.
down like that.
To be fair, I do like the fact they went practical with these with those boats sinking.
Oh yeah, there's one thing I'll give this movie is that there's a lot of surprisingly practical effects here. Like there was actually a point where they wanted to try to do an actor in a suit for some of the Godzilla or some of the monster shots, because that monster has no right to be called Godzilla. But because of the way it was designed, it didn't stand upright.
Oh.
Oh.
So like it was hard for the suit actor. Now, were those the boats coming out of the?
Yeah, he's a
Okay,
boat.
'cause
Yeah,
for the
those are the
longest
boats.
Time, I thought like that was supposed to be like Godzilla. Like I thought that was part of Zilla. And for the longest time, I always thought that was Zilla's knee. It's like, why? Like, is that supposed to be a knee or what is it?
Oh.
I love how there's lightning for every line of dialogue.
Yeah. It's for dramatic effect.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Oh yeah, I forgot that they brought in a worm expert for Godzilla, who is a reptile. And he was
Billy,
looking.
Dr. Alan Grant was not available, so they got Matthew Broderick.
They move in herds. They
Sorry,
do move in herds.
Nick, not Papadopoulos, so I forgot his last name again.
It's Tatopoulos.
Tatopoulos.
Again, why?
Yay, hey, Casaria!
Yeah, here's the second cast member.
I like how they called it's New York the city that never sleeps.
Yeah.
It's the city that never rains or stops raining.
I think City That Never Sleeps will be more like Vegas.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that.
Hey, don't you see I'm eating? Oh, Hank Azaria.
Yeah, that's true.
Can we just all admit that New York is one of the best cities in the entire world?
I wouldn't know.
It
I've never been.
You know, it never occurred to me that Hank Azaria's name was Animal.
I never knew his character name.
Like,
I
is
don't
that
know.
his nickname or is his real name?
Maybe his nickname. That would be too harsh to name a
I'm
character
gonna Wikipedia
animal.
that, because that's like in the old Transformers cartoon where the human character's dad's name is Sparkplug.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Let's see, Victor Animal. Okay, so his first name's Victor.
Oh, okay, cool.
Wow.
She is
look at that
so
set.
bad.
She
Look
does.
at that.
I was like, is she
That
horny?
whimsy.
Is she amazed?
You
What was
can't
that
tell.
look?
Hey,
We're gonna see the sticky bandits getting out from that van, like in Home Alone 2.
Oh, here we go. This is the moment from the trailer.
Yeah, the moment that got everyone.
Yeah.
Surprised that he's trying to catch a fish in that lake full of cadavers
It's actually a river.
and trash.
It's actually a river.
Just joking. That's the
Oh.
stereotype
Oh, okay.
that they have for that river.
Next summer.
Taco Bell presents.
Oh God! You've reminded me of the product placement in this movie. There's going to be a lot of it. I've just remembered now. Oh no!
I was one day from retirement.
Okay, one thing. The 2014 movie kind of replicates this shot, but what I love is how they like trick the audience to where like the shot used in the 2014 movie is actually Godzilla's tail and not his body.
Yeah.
So we never see him die, or does he live? What happens?
No, we're never gonna know.
Because we never see this monster actually kill anyone.
I mean, they got the roar, right? But that's
They-
probably just a recording of the roar.
Yeah, but like watching this, it's like looking at the monster's legs. Like you don't even need to see the body. Just looking at the legs, you could tell something's wrong.
It looks like a T-Rex.
And then that brief moment, right? Okay, I like how this shot coming up, like is practical.
Nice.
Right there.
Wow.
Yeah, but that CG is it's so bad.
Yeah. Even, I imagine.
Oh yes.
Oh, here we go.
I imagine even in 1998, the CG wasn't very good.
It'll be critiqued very heavily by Siskel and Ebert. Oh wait,
Yeah,
they're in this movie.
Yeah, there's the Cisco Teamer.
Mayor Ebert and his assistant Gene.
Yeah.
Like they don't even do it properly. Like
It's
they don't even do
I
anything
don't
with
know
it.
which
It's
one
just
of them
there's
said it
Siskel and
on
Ebert.
the review.
Ha ha ha.
Why didn't Godzilla never kill them?
Oh yeah, Gene Siskel said,
Yeah.
if you're gonna go through the trouble of putting us in a monster movie, why don't you at least take advantage of the monster either eating or stepping on us?
Yeah.
You would think that they would do that because those two shit on all your other movies. I mean, like, how do you mess that up?
Like, Gremlins 2 took advantage of Leonard Maltin,
Yeah.
like, not liking the first Gremlins movie, to the point where they actually had Leonard Maltin on Gremlins 2.
Wow.
It's not a disaster movie.
Seen or met Leonard Maltin? I mean,
I have.
Oh, and here's the final member. That's Bart Simpson herself.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Nancy Cartwright.
And then, for some reason, there's Barney, the dinosaur, playing on the TV.
More reason to believe that this movie is Jurassic Park and not Godzilla. Again, for those in the audience, I'm wearing a Jurassic Park shirt. This is not an
Jurassic Park
accident.
spin-off.
these effects do not look good by today's standards.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, the 2014 Godzilla looks so much better, and he's hardly in the 2014 Godzilla film, so.
Well, I mean, that's a movie where people actually cared about the property.
We just saw a scene with Smithers and Bart. I think they literally just cast Hank Azaria because he's from New York.
Okay, how has Zilla been rampaging for this long?
And no one
yet
noticed?
most of the city is still unaware of this.
Well, that news reporter said, "Please stand by," so we assume that he was reporting on this.
You would still
occurrence.
hear, like, you would still see destruction and hear, like, that kind of stuff happening.
Yeah.
It's a dinosaur! You know the girlfriend is a temptress because she is wearing red. She eats a red lollipop. It's just, if anything associated with the color red, it's just a seductress.
I like the determination of Agnes area to get a shot of Zilla.
Yeah.
Look at that 1998 technology.
Oh man.
Like, there's just, like, I mean, in this rampage alone, there's so much that they get wrong. Like,
There's a shot that I love that's coming up later that I'm going to lovingly
God.
dissect.
Agnes area just
That
melted
is just-
fungus from Godzilla's feet.
that is, like, that is pure luck right there.
Yeah, he got lucky.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
Nice.
Well, it's like, I mean, anyway, like outside of, like, even without seeing his head or body, you could tell that doesn't look like Godzilla. He doesn't really destroy much of the city. Like, New York stays pretty intact.
Oh, we're gonna get to this.
Oh,
in a minute.
yeah, I forgot. This was before.
yeah.
This was before 9/11, so I just saw a shot of the two towers. Shit. Sorry to be a Debbie Downer.
Well, I mean,
But
it's
they
not
literally
as-
mention like the World Trade Center bombing later.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know when this movie was made. Yeah, how do they lose the monster?
I don't know.
The thing is enormous. It's in New
yeah,
York, which
Zilla's
is like,
not bulky.
I mean, come on. Like, you could say he goes into the water or something, but
I can see why.
would you think there would be like submarines following him?
It can
or, like-
camouflage.
Oh,
I mean, this is in New York, which is one of the most heavily populated cities in the world. You think somebody would notice a giant 80-foot monster, or however big he is? I don't know.
Yeah, except for the.
That is the dumbest line in
millions
this
of
movie.
people
This is a place where he can easily hide.
Godzilla's like hiding like this behind Times Square. Oh, no one can see me.
This isn't the Bourne Ultimatum. Again, I am directly ripping off the Nostalgia Critic, but it's a legit point.
Yeah.
Okay, to be fair, I do like the fact that the footage was not a clear like shot of the actual monster. That's actually a thing I actually do like. It's like it's to build the tension, but the tension isn't earned because when you see him in
Now, is it to build the tension, or is it to try to keep Godzilla fans from getting pissed for longer?
I just realized that the news was reported by Kent Brockman.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That's so weird. It's
Because
also
if
just
they-
weird seeing them in live action.
Because I feel like if they had confidence in their monster, they wouldn't have hit him for this long.
Also, I don't get, you're evacuating now when a giant monster has just been rampaging through your city. You only now decide to pack your stuff up and leave your building.
And even then, most of the city doesn't even evacuate. They a lot of the city just kind of goes off like it's nothing. Which actually, in this year for Americans is pretty telling.
Yeah.
Like, there's a disaster happening, and some people are just so ignorant that they go about their daily lives.
That's
I don't
right,
wanna
because
say
I was gonna
that-
bring that up. People
I don't
don't want to wear a mask, and you think that all of New York is gonna evacuate in one evening?
Yeah.
Yeah, also, I don't want to say history repeats itself, but yeah, it does. Also, lightning literally just struck one of the two towers.
Yeah.
We're like it's Frankenstein or some shit.
Well, you say history repeats itself. To stay in the theme of Godzilla, I will say history shows again and again that nature points out the folly of man.
Mm-hmm. Like in The Happening.
Oh yeah.
The plants killed man.
I think the shot I was talking about is just about to come up.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
this one.
yes.
This
No,
shot.
not this one. Coming up soon.
Just wait.
This one?
How? How the fuck is that still up?
Brother store.
That building would not be up. It's not one of those like fucking.
That doesn't make sense.
What the hell?
Hey, people know that there are pricey items at the Warner Brothers store and the Disney stores. Now I wanna kiss chocolate. Okay, I really like that detail about the Warner Brothers store. I miss the Warner Brothers stores.
I forgot how many helicopters are in this movie. I mean, it makes sense because, you know, you wouldn't use jets, but like there are a lot of helicopters in this movie.
Yeah.
Campaign contributors.
It's Rudy Giuliani. Oh, political joke.
Sneaky, Jean Reno.
He is a professional.
Hey.
Nice. But still, it's a super small microphone in heavy rain. How is it gonna record with that much rain?
Raul,
You know,
it's,
after doing 16 Godzilla movies in Watchalong so far, I've run into that problem where I've questioned some of the weird, more logical, like, real-world things, and then I just realized, wait a minute, this is a movie about a giant monster. Why am I wasting my time?
yeah, you shouldn't think about these things.
Yeah, like, shouldn't nip it, but I'm also doing it for humor's sake. But, oh my god, also, you're taking the subway where fucking Godzilla is around.
I'll say this about the girlfriend. She's got great hair.
Yeah.
But she's
because
not very
this is
interesting.
Colombia, so technically the Men in Black exists in the same universe.
UPS.
Okay.
Even during a disaster, you can count on UPS.
Has anyone ever noticed how, like, I don't want to say hostile, but like, how this movie makes a lot of like obvious French jokes.
Yeah, there's a lot of French jokes and just
Oh my god!
Well, even
like look at
even
that,
in the
no
first-
croissant.
Yeah, no croissant, and then this. But like even in the first scene on the Japanese fishing boat, you have a Japanese guy watching sumo wrestling while eating ramen. Like, really?
Please don't tell me that we're gonna see a Latino eating Taco Bell because I'm gonna barf.
Raul, it was the 90s. Taco Bell. Also, Taco Bell did win the franchise wars.
Ugh, God.
Have you missed? Did you not see the commercials for Taco Bell?
I
when
saw
this
like
movie-
two of them, but never until like I was already a teenager. But when I was little, I saw Godzilla in Mexico. So Taco Bell, it doesn't exist in Mexico.
I thought all restaurants in Mexico were Taco Bell.
Oh, Billy.
I know, you racist bastard.
Yeah.
I am not touching that.
That's what she
I know
said.
he was making a joke.
Oh,
He knows that
I am
hate
so
fucking Taco
fired.
Bell.
I am so fired.
Probably nobody listening this will. What I'm about to say, nobody else will get this unless you live in Texas. But I've always been a Taco Cabana guy over Taco Bell.
I respect that, Alex, because I also grew up in Texas, both in Texas and Mexico. Taco Cabana is really good.
Yeah.
There's a Taco Cabana.
Yeah.
But
Sounds
even
awesome.
though, Alex, I don't know if you never tried this, but Taco Palenque is way better than Taco Cabana. It's also a chain in Texas.
I've never heard of that place.
Oh, it's more like in the border, and there's one in Houston, I think, in San Antonio.
Okay.
And then
Is there something? I know this has like gotten into a conversation about tacos and shit, but there's something about like Texas tortillas that just are better than here in California.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know.
Well, that's the thing. It depends on the place, because there's also some Texas places that they have really bad tortillas.
And see, here's something else that ticked Godzilla fans off, because Godzilla's never been known to bury himself underground.
Because he's more like a water monster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you build it, they will come.
Wait, hang on. Is there literally water around and electricity's going off? Like, shouldn't they be aware that the fact they could be electrocuted if they did that? Like, turn the power off or something like that?
You'd think so.
Yeah. This movie's time jumping is all over the place.
It is. There's so many Apache helicopters.
I wonder if the Friends gang are still like drinking coffee at Central Park while everything is happening, or they went to Monica's apartment.
Like there a lot of people criticized too many characters in King of the Monsters. But at least the characters in that movie are all together. Like they're not spread out in an inconsistent way.
Yeah.
Espionage.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this movie takes place in the dark for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And you got to start a new link.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
French roast.
French jokes
Another?
are funny. That's
Wow.
what this movie's entire tone is
Oh my god.
with them.
Yes, all cameras.
Oh yeah. those things.
Kodak cameras.
When I was little, my mother
used to have
gave me one of
those.
those like.
They were so fun. Get those awesome Polaroids.
Oh, especially when you can only
just
do like
awesome.
20 photos and then you have to develop them and then you get another one. I fucking miss those kind of cameras.
Okay, even as a kid, this part literally made the least sense because like you got all that fish that quickly.
Oh, here we go. Here's the iconic moment. Most iconic line in the movie that we have not been able to shut up about. Very clever. It's a lizard.
All right, ready?
Another fish.
That's a lot
That's
of fish.
a lot of fish.
Yeah, that's a weird way to end that scene. Huh?
Yeah, it just also the I think they forgot to like cut it, so it kind of lingers on for a few more seconds longer than it needs to be. It's just that's a lot of fish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it cuts. It doesn't just immediately cut, and it doesn't even make any sense.
No,
It's a lot of fish. Yeah, okay. It like that's not a joke. That's just a statement. I don't get it. I think they made Matthew Broderick an animal expert because, I mean, he's the king of the Pride Lands.
You know, it didn't even register to me that Matthew Broderick voiced adult Simba in The Lion King until the movie was re-released in 3D.
Yeah, I saw
Like
it.
that,
And,
I just never put that together.
yeah, that Ferris Bueller is adult Simba.
Yeah.
It's so weird because he has such like a bit of a whiny voice. I mean, I love Matthew Broderick, but like when you think of Simba, you don't think of immediately think of Matthew Broderick. I think of
No, you
Jonathan.
don't.
I think of JTT from Home Improvement.
I'm pretty sure no one's gonna remember who voiced Simba in the live action remake.
I will
Childish
because
Gambino?
Yeah, I mean,
You got when you say live action remake, you got to put those quote fingers there.
yeah, okay, fine. Live action.
Yeah, because that ain't live action.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
this is the Pride Lands. Don't catch me slipping though.
Ugh.
Eating an antelope.
Did he fart it?
Oh,
Who knows?
That's a lot of worms. He gets
Yeah,
the
it's like-
one where
like in any
it has a
other
hole in
movie,
the center, so
in any
so
other
the
movie,
lighting
this
can
would
be
be
perfect.
the big hell yeah introduction. And instead, every Godzilla fan in the world is like, what the hell is that? Like, okay, that's a cool looking monster, but where's Godzilla? I came to this movie to see Godzilla, and that ain't it.
He's got the same chin that Josh Brolin and Ben Affleck have. It's that that enormous, or the Jay Leno chin. Mm-hmm. And like a weirdly like slim face.
Yeah.
Even though that's not Godzilla at all.
No, nothing like it. Like you don't make a giant lizard and just call it Godzilla.
yeah.
I mean, it's like The Last Airbender. Just everything about that movie.
I mean, at least that movie looks like the show. It's not good at all, but at least like you could look at it and go, "Oh yeah, that's The Last Airbender."
Yeah.
There's nothing about this design where you look at it and go, oh yeah, that's Godzilla.
Have you guys seen the original design for this film that Stan Winston was originally going to do? Like,
Yeah, it looks
I
awesome.
have.
I mean, that design
Like-
actually looked like Godzilla.
I mean, I will say like the weird duck mouth is weird, but it does look like Godzilla in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, like the dorsal fins, they at least got that right.
What are you talking about? That original design?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
'cause
I'm
I was
also
about to
like,
say,
because
like,
this one, like the
no.
only thing they have is really like those spikes in the back, and then that's it. Everything else, it's like a lizard and a T-Rex,
Yeah.
and that's not Godzilla. I'm all for like updating the character, but like there are certain things that you just gotta keep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let me see if I can find it, because a lot of crew and cast members who worked on or would work on other Godzilla movies later on. The original suit actor, Haruo Nakajima, basically said its face looks like an iguana and its body and limbs look like a frog.
That's a good,
Oh wow.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Oh, are we gonna get a '90s hacking scene?
Oh, here we go. Oh, fire.
And
oh,
here
fire.
comes the military, and they're missing a lot of shots, by the way.
No, did they leave
They just
Hugo?
totally wrecked that building. I mean, like, my goodness.
J. Jonah Jameson is like, Parker, take some photos of this Godzilla.
Yeah, give me some photos of that Godzilla.
He doesn't want to be famous? I'll make him
sir-
infamous!
Sir, that's not Godzilla.
I will make it infamous.
He was almost killed by John Adams.
I like how when Zilla, whenever Zilla walks slowly, everyone can feel his footsteps, but when he runs, no one feels it.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. He doesn't breathe fire so much as just blow on
He just like ignites.
blow on some flames.
It's like he ignites gas, and even then, like, this is like Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin saying, "Well, hey, Godzilla breathes fire, so here you go." And I'm like, "No, he never breathed fire. What are
No,
you talking about?"
he has atomic breath that comes from him, not
it's
from
it's
anything
not
else.
fire, it's pure radiation.
And it's blue and extremely dangerous. I mean,
Well,
you
I
gotta
mean-
admit, even if the newer movies aren't like they're not like Citizen Kane, but at least they got the look and they got him breathing fire.
Yeah.
In comparison to this, they are.
Yeah,
Citizen Kane.
definitely. In comparison to this, you pick the newer ones.
How that was. How,
Stay on target.
Oh.
That building should not support that
Yeah.
monster's weight.
Also, how do you miss that thing?
Oh.
Wait. Oh.
Just blow up more shit. I'm
Meg
pretty sure
Ryan
all
and
the
Tom
buildings.
Hanks just died.
I'm pretty sure like the buildings blew up the same way that they blew up in Independence Day.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain on that.
I mean, it is cool that they still use some practical effects for the city destruction.
Yeah.
Even though compared to how much destruction was in Independence Day, the fact that Zilla doesn't even cause any major destruction in this movie is very disappointing.
I mean, we established that
there's-
he can go
it
through a
came
building
from-
and make it still stand,
Yeah.
defying all science and logic.
Yeah.
I'm also fairly certain I've seen that B-movie footage of like the
Oh.
giant squid.
It came from beneath the sea.
Yeah. Because I was like, it's not Beast from 20,000 Fathoms.
No, it's not.
But I've seen that footage before.
God.
Yeah, the military causes more damage than Godzilla.
You know, it's like, I mean, we'll get to it much later in the movie, but it's like you're right now. People would question why is the military having such a difficult time hitting Godzilla. And then when you get to the end and realize that he's easily killed by the military, you're like, you bastards.
Yeah. Spoiler
there's
alert.
everything about this movie, like everything that went wrong with understanding this character went wrong.
Did he go through another building? And it's still standing again? I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm confused also about this shot. He's behind them. Oh, I got it!
That doesn't even make sense. There's suspension of disbelief, and then there's just plain dumb.
It would have been closely funneled and said, clever girl.
Again, this movie is Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Use the force, Luke.
Or snooze in this case.
Well, I don't know. Do the obvious thing and pull up.
You think you'll be able to pull out in time? Oh, Star Wars.
Oh,
No! Not that guy.
How? How?
See, even Mayor Ebert points it out. It's so... Oh, Jesus.
He's humping that building.
That building's gonna meet you, Godzilla, or Zilla. Oh yeah, then this happens. They
Ugh.
lose him.
Is that blood or his spit?
Wait a minute, is that
Okay.
Jane from Firefly? That soldier right there.
I never saw Firefly, so I don't know.
Let me pull up because I have Wikipedia up here.
He was in a lot of like 90s movies just like as
Doug Savant is that actor's name.
Oh, no, it's not Adam Baldwin.
No.
Dang. I thought it was Adam Baldwin. Cuz I'm fairly certain earlier we saw Mad Dog from The Raid.
You know, this movie probably would never have gotten the attention it got if it was named anything but Godzilla.
yeah.
Like, even amongst non-fans of Godzilla, I doubt this movie would be as recognized.
You could have just called it Reptile and it would have been fine. And then it turns into a Lifetime movie. With this
Why
whole
is she
relationship
still open
drama.
during a monster rampage?
Wait, her name's Audrey?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Feed me, Matthew!
I knew I thought I remembered her name, but I didn't completely forgot it was Audrey.
We don't remember names in this movie. There's really no point.
Except for Tatopolis.
It's
She's
Tatopolis.
like blonde girl that she's a reporter.
She didn't go on to do anything, so like, who gives a shit?
Oh, poor girl.
Yeah.
You know, you never called. I was afraid to. Or you're still mad at me. Yeah, see, she dumped him without even calling him or leaving him anything. What a bitch.
Okay, this is the part I remember being the most boring part of the movie. So we need to come up with more
like
jokes.
even. Yeah, we should. I mean, even like when other Godzilla movies like come to a stop here, you don't go into this sappy like will they or won't they romance.
This isn't a Hallmark movie. This is Godzilla.
No, it's not.
Well, Zilla. I keep saying Godzilla, but I'm just conditioned, I guess. Oh yeah, I love the lead up to this scene. So yeah, you haven't called me. You basically gaslighted me and, broke my heart. You want a cup of tea? I'll let you into this like secret military government tent and tell you
And
everything I'm working on.
You can get the information that you need.
Because you're hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, also forgetting that she's a reporter.
Yeah, that's like Meg Ryan as a helicopter pilot. No.
Meg Ryan was too expensive for that role.
Oh yeah, this plot point.
Matthew Broderick, you're not the father.
No, he's pregnant.
Again, another aspect right here that made Godzilla fans go, "What?"
Wait. Life finds a way.
Well, there it is.
Wow.
It's so progressive. Mm-hmm. Making an asexual Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know about Alex, but if you saw that would have super pissed you off as a Godzilla fan.
Well, I mean, it's like Godzilla's had offspring before, but he's always adopted them.
Yeah, like Nina, who looks like
Yeah.
the Pillsbury Doughboy. He's adorable.
Don't forget Godzuki.
Ugh.
That doesn't count.
We don't talk about that.
okay, all right.
It's like
So-
Scrappy Doo. It's not something that Godzilla fans are proud of.
So Godzilla is kind of like an Angelina Jolie of monsters. Adopts a lot of like different monster creatures.
Well, this Zilla reproduces asexually, so it's its own.
So Zilla's
it's
more
its
like
own
the
couple.
Octomom of monsters.
That timely Octomom reference, but yes. I'm sorry to anybody that's forced to listen to me. Oh, it's got a VHS copy of Top Secret. I'd rather watch this movie with Val Kilmer than Matthew Broderick.
She's actually watching the beginning of a better Godzilla movie.
yeah.
Also, who left the VHS tape of this footage around?
Matthew Broderick.
She wants to fuck Matthew Broderick, but still she wants a career. Oh no, what she's gonna choose? And she chooses the career.
BITCH.
I mean, it is.
What a bitch.
Look at all those helicopters. Like, did you see all those helicopters?
Yeah.
I think that this movie has more helicopter than Suicide Squad. I have to say it, Billy. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't like Suicide Squad. Or at least not the cut that we were promised. I really want to see that Jared Leto footage just to see how crazy it was, good or bad. It's gonna be insane.
It's probably just as bad as the stuff that.
No.
we actually got.
It probably is, but I mean, I gotta see it. I gotta know what crazy shit he did.
By the way, I'm glad that the David Ayer cut campaign has lost steam. Mm-hmm. Okay, how do you not turn around?
How did nobody else?
How does everyone who
How
asked
can he
you
even
what do you
notice
see
the
not see
noise?
Screw you, Audrey. There's a lot of terrible hats worn in this movie too. I'm just pointing
Also,
it out because I'm looking
getting
at that.
pretty lucky of keeping
that-
her
that tech
hair
guy.
pretty well in the rain.
'Cause
Well, as somebody who has probably just as curly of hair as she does, that hair dries quick.
Well, I also have curly hair. I get it also, but still.
I don't. I got that wavy hair, so it stays damp.
And then that Kent Brockman looking bastard steals her idea.
Okay, literally, this part makes the least sense because at one point it's nighttime and now it's sort of early evening,
But it's still raining.
and it's still raining. Yeah.
I thought that another day just passed. So is the same day?
Why is this set up like the conversation? Like I feel like they're wiretapping. They probably are wiretapping the U.S. military.
They are.
I'm very slow to pick up on things.
When is Madison Square Garden gonna happen? I'm waiting for it.
Hello, Madison Square Garden. The Virgin Lizard.
No one read the chaos theory from Jacob Ian Malcolm.
Back in 1 sec, guys.
All right. This music is too whimsical.
Yeah, it's like a Spielberg movie.
But even then, something that's like a scenario that's supposed to be a like serious thing, the music is just too whimsical.
Those people are so calm in that bar, and there's a Godzilla around.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Why there be parts of the city that are still open or populated even.
Oh, you get it? It's the report is called "The Origin of the Species."
And you fucked up Matthew Broderick's evidence.
Yeah, but Godzilla's the English translation, you moron.
Yeah.
Y'all fucked up.
No.
No, ma'am. What? No.
No.
This is like he is delivering some Mark Wahlberg The Happening.
Yeah.
Lines right there. Yeah, what did you think was gonna happen?
And that I feel so bad for him. She stole that, and they haven't even fucked yet. Not even a kiss. Nothing.
I mean, they both like honestly, they both got what they deserved.
Yeah.
Like he took the risk of trusting his
ex-girlfriend who left him 8 years
and in
ago.
return, like the story that she was planning to give was stolen.
Instead of him
So it's
having
like-
sex with her.
This is
Like,
going to be a
nobody
bitch
wins
to
in
edit.
this scenario.
It's going to be a lot of yelling.
You know, would he simply just have been fired from this?
I think he was.
Well, no. What would you like face bigger consequences for leaking something that classified?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he would be in jail. Like maximum security prison. Like no questions asked.
Okay, you know what? No, I just found a bigger plot hole. Why
Wasn't
would
she in the bar?
Yeah. Why would the Japanese not report about that shipwreck at the beginning?
That's true.
I guess nobody would believe them. I mean, if I said a giant lizard monster killed everybody on ship, everybody would assume I'm crazy. But I'm reading too much into this, so
Hell,
the short
president
answer
would
is
say-
I don't fucking know.
President would say that's fake news.
Oh my god.
Well, our president.
Yeah. I'm not going to say his name because, you know, he needs no words.
We know who you're talking about, man.
Yeah.
And I love that she's defending. She's like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I basically ruined your life, but I wanted it more."
Yeah.
Bitch.
She, you know, I haven't seen any other works that this actress has been in, but Razzie well earned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be
she
mean,
is
but yeah.
Awful in this movie.
Give me a little more emotion.
Oh, she got the one tear though, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, we needed Hank Azaria to go, "Hey, yo, taxi!" But instead he...
You know, it might, given how stereotypical this movie is with stereotypes, that I'm surprised that didn't happen.
There's a lot of red things in this movie.
It's symbolism.
Well, it's in your face bad symbolism.
Wait. Oh god, the continuity is giving me weird Samurai Cop vibes. Because literally about 10 seconds ago it was daylight and now it's cloudy.
Yeah.
Bonsoir, Monsieur Sava.
Oh, damn. We're only halfway through this movie.
What? We're only halfway through?
A little over
Feels
halfway.
like it's this. You know, I'm surprised this movie's only 2 hours and 18 minutes because it feels so much longer.
Yeah, it feels like it should just be an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm really feeling the runtime also. That's why I went to get a snack.
Well, there are only, in terms of the Japanese films, I think there are only 2 movies that go over 2 hours.
But this isn't really a Japanese movie.
Yeah, there are only 2 all the other movies except for 2 are under 2 hours. Godzilla Final Wars and Shin Godzilla are the only ones that reach the 2 hour mark.
Yeah, and those movies deserve it because they rock.
Godzilla
Final Wars is pretty awesome. I mean, it's mostly just fighting.
See, that's kind of my problem. Like I've made it pretty clear that I do not like Godzilla Final Wars.
Yeah, look at all this equipment.
Yeah, because it says, how do you buy all of this? Oh, this is America. You can buy anything.
Yeah.
He has a point.
That actually holds up.
Because all of those supplies will totally work against a giant monster. Although, given how weak Zilla is, they could work.
So it was not the Japanese, it was the French that were doing the bomb testing.
Again, another point where even then, the Japanese don't practice nuclear testing.
It was actually the Americans that tested it, right?
Yeah, it's the Americans that tested the hydrogen bomb. Because since the Japanese are the only people to fall victim to nuclear weapons, they never they don't have nuclear weapons.
Wow.
Like the movie I just did last night on my channel, The Return of Godzilla, they talk about a policy where the Japanese won't make, use, or hold nuclear weapons.
That's a good policy.
So where is this supposed to be?
New Jersey.
Brooklyn? New Jersey,
Oh.
maybe?
Oh, is it?
It's New Jersey, yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty cool of her.
You know, maybe it's because of her accent, but
Maybe
that
she's from the
actress
Bronx?
there, if they had kept making Batman movies in the 90s, she probably would have made a good Harley Quinn.
Probably. Oh, I just saw the
What's her
Scooby-Doo
name?
in there. Also, Hank Azaria did say, get out of
Arabella
here.
Field.
I just realized Hank Azaria said, get out of here.
Is that a parking meter?
I was just
Yeah,
about to
that's a
say
good
that.
point. What the hell's a parking meter doing there?
Like that silver thing there.
Yeah. Scooby-Doo!
Row.
That'd be a good movie to watch, the 2000s Scooby-Doo.
Yes!
Ooh, I've not seen that in forever.
Fun fact, I've only seen the second Scooby-Doo film.
It's pretty good.
It's actually closer to Scooby-Doo than the first one.
Those two are much better than Scoop. Fucking movie.
Hashtag not my Shaggy.
You know what? I can't say anything about the 2002 Scooby-Doo because I haven't seen it in forever. But yeah, that Scoob was like, have we learned nothing from the Mummy?
And not the Brendan Fraser mummy either.
No, yeah. Well, I'm talking about the Tom Cruise Mummy.
Yeah, I don't believe that movie exists. I have blocked it from my memory.
Okay, good.
You need
Only
to, Billy.
only the Boris Karloff and Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
And I also have a soft spot for Mummy Returns, even though I know it's a terrible movie.
You know what? I do too. Although I will say, I know this isn't the Mummy Returns, but the Mummy Returns does something very clever with Rick and Evelyn. How they're husband and wife, and they stay husband and wife throughout the entire adventure and never like fight or break up.
Yeah, it's actually a very healthy relationship. It's like more couples should be portrayed that way.
You have a nice point, Alexander, because in a lot of blockbusters in the sequel, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna break up," and the whole movie they're broken up, and then they go back together at the end.
Yeah.
Cough,
Yeah,
cough, Jurassic
or-
World Kingdom.
Well, yeah.
Don't even get me
Well,
started
that's
on
something,
don't get me started on ranting about those two.
Well, what I was gonna say, getting back into the vein of Godzilla, even though Elizabeth Olsen wasn't used that much in the 2014 movie, I like how she and Aaron Taylor Johnson's character actually stay married. Like, there's no like will they or won't they conflict bullshit like in this.
And you can also say like the 2014 Godzilla was like they had like a nuclear family. You get it? Because nuclear.
Ah, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's not nuclear.
Oh,
this
here we
is
go.
hilarious.
Dummy.
Oh, here we go. This is. I didn't ask you, soldier.
You know, how does he not recognize, like, hey, isn't that the guy that leaked all that footage?
Nice.
That's not a bad Elvis.
Now, was that actually him?
Nice.
Oh, it's not Jerry Lewis movies.
Like, I feel like he had to be dubbed. Either he was dubbed over, or that was a spot-on impression.
I think that was Jean Reno.
If it was dubbed over, then it's actually closer to the Godzilla movies than we thought.
Wait, so they're also putting a lot of fish in Central Park?
It worked the last
Yeah.
time.
Because it worked the first time, so obviously it'll work the second time.
I do like these big tunnels.
It would be more appropriate if Baragon showed up, but no, we don't get that luxury.
Oh, for God's sake, turn the power off. You're going to be electrocuted if you're in that. There's water everywhere and sparks are going off, and you never thought, oh, let's turn off the power.
Now, when I see the tunnels and the way that it's the way of the lighting, it reminds me of that movie with Sylvester Stallone when they're all stuck in like a lot of tunnels.
I think that's on HBO Max. Shit, what is
Daylight.
it
I
called?
forget the name of it.
That's the
I
name
know
of
what
that
you're
movie,
talking about,
Daylight.
though.
Daylight.
Daylight.
Okay.
Mommy's very angry.
Also, I don't know, but I just remember Volcano also. I like that movie also.
Although Dante's Peak is better. Volcano
Yes,
does
that is better.
have some pretty awesome.
I was gonna say I've only seen snippets of Volcano, but then again, I don't think I remember. Given that Dante's Peak is kind of the same thing, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Then I can't remember which movie I saw a clip of. So how long has it been since a monster happened?
I don't know,
20
like
minutes, maybe?
20 minutes.
20. It feels like longer than that.
That's this entire movie summed up in a nutshell. It feels longer than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, that looks so bad.
It's like a bad video game POV.
I wonder how
Yeah.
this movie looks in the 4K remaster that they did.
This is probably in
Just as
4K.
bad.
If not worse, because everything's brighter, or as far as I can tell, 4K is it 4K brighter, or is it... I don't know.
I can't tell the difference.
Okay.
Well, 4K, you can just see everybody's pores. Because
Yeah,
it's that crisp and clear.
and you can notice more of the line of special effects when you're seeing something on 4K.
Oh yeah, the seams.
Yeah,
Like I watched Infinity War on Disney Plus, and that's in 4K, and the stuff they did with Thanos, it's amazing.
Nice.
Like you can see like every pore on his skin, and like you notice little things. It's really done well.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
I hate to keep harping on this, but a Godzilla that easily navigates the streets without causing destruction.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's just... There's just so much wrong about this movie.
Yeah, you have a point because it's a big ass monster. He can like walk through the buildings pretty easily.
Yeah.
How he could just walk through those buildings like nothing. Like
Well, I mean, like, what's the poster tagline for this movie?
is this his face is as tall as this poster or something like that, or?
The poster tagline is "Size does matter."
Oh, okay.
So if you're going by that tagline, why would you make a Godzilla or why would you make a monster that is both not only smaller but weaker than what has come before?
Okay, for some reason Godzilla has plunged my room into darkness. I'm just going to turn the light back on. Give me 1 second.
Oh. All right.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Sila's like, no, I'm vegan now. Sorry, bye.
Yeah, why would you open fire? Like, probably Godzilla was like, no, I'm not. He wasn't going to. Oh, let me rephrase it better.
And again, how do you miss?
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot of helicopters.
And one of them would have collided with each other. They are way too close to each other.
Yeah, Alexander, you have a point. No one has died because of Godzilla. He hasn't killed anyone.
I mean, they've killed those helicopter pilots.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true, but he hasn't stepped on anyone
Yeah.
while running through the city.
I want to see Godzilla like stomping on people or a dog, maybe something.
Oh, you can't kill a dog.
Oh yeah, it's Roland Emmerich movie. He doesn't kill a dog on screen. That's true.
Well, also, not just that, but people will hate you for it if you do.
Okay, then maybe Sunny turned into Hunt for Red October.
I got like 9 recordings on GarageBand. I've been trying to keep them as long as possible. So there's going to be like sections where it's going to be weird. So I'm just going to describe the film. Yeah, this is when they're... Oh, this is the submarines. I remember this part.
You know, the real Godzilla would have taken those missiles, those torpedoes like a champ, and grabbed onto those submarines.
Yeah, pretty sure he could take it.
I don't care what the cost of court-martialing is, or what the benefits are. If that thing's headed right towards the sub, I'm getting out and swimming.
Wow.
Because I know it's a lost... I know the sub's a lost cause. So I might as well, like, just get out of the sub myself and swim away. And also, I don't care how dirty the Hudson River is.
Yeah, no, the Hudson River probably should have killed Zilla. Because he's such a little bitch. I'm really bored by this movie. Like, I don't know what else to say.
I'm
really-
just waiting for the
really-
Madison Square Garden. I forgot that this movie's too long.
It's way too long.
I'm just so bored. How much time we got left?
I didn't
Got an
remember
hour
this
left?
scene with the fucking submarines.
It's only just now almost an hour and a half.
This is the point where other Godzilla movies would end.
I think I remember like a Doritos commercial. Like it was like spicy Doritos. He eats them, Zilla, and then he jumps into the Hudson. Like how later in the movie he jumps in the
Yeah, I
Hudson.
remember that.
By the way, this commentary is just for anybody that's seen the movie. We've been spoiling the shit out of it. Oh yeah.
And
Look at that.
Even if you haven't seen the movie, we're doing a public service. At least I am. And again, this is the point. Like, it's an hour and a half in. They quote killed the monster, unquote. That would be the point where any other Godzilla movie would just stop right there. But no, they keep going.
Yeah, so this is the sequel. We're gonna see the babies, technically.
Yeah, this is when the movie officially becomes Jurassic Park. It was unofficially for the time, or it's actually more like in tune with not the first Jurassic Park, but the Lost World. With it
Yeah.
being like in a city and everything. And
Yeah,
there's
it
a
is
lot of dead
straight up.
fish.
Is straight up the Lost World.
Instead of San Diego, it's New York City.
I mean, it's more like this entire sequence coming up is more like the raptor scene in the village in the Lost World.
You don't sound pissed.
I wonder how many people just kind of were like, okay, the movie's done. Wait, still you have to imagine the way the last half of this movie goes. There were so many people just irritated that the movie had several chances to stop but keeps going.
No wonder this movie's got a B- cinema score.
B minus.
This thing has a B minus.
In Madison Square Garden, no one can hear you scream.
Oh my god!
I thought of the Robot Chicken sketch with these. They make a sequel to this, and it's just it's this scene, but instead it's all the baby Zilla's ice skating, and all I kept thinking was it's still better.
Yes.
It is. Raul, it's funny you said that the alien tagline.
Yeah.
Because those eggs look like the alien egg on the poster.
Yeah, because that was the joke that I was making. It looked like the aliens from the poster. The alien eggs.
You got the dramatic lighting.
It's so funny how this movie rips off every possible movie except an actual Godzilla movie. The one thing that it is in name only, it doesn't even bother to be.
Yeah. Also, I'll say this as well. They are very dumb for turning the power on because, as far as I can remember, power is also a source of heat. If you have lights on, it's a source of heat, right? So the eggs will be more prone to.
They'll speed up a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you. Do you get it? He said mad. He's
He
French.
says shit, right? Kind of like saying mierda, like shit.
That's what it
Mad.
means. That's what it means
Yeah.
in French.
Oh, I got it. Cool.
I took a qualification in French and I got a D, so I know my French, right? man.
Something that okay didn't just cross my mind, but it's funny how like the first two times an Americanized Godzilla movie is made, this one's directed by a German director,
And the second one is directed by a British director.
yeah, and then only last year's King of the Monsters is finally directed by an American.
A pretty kick-ass American, honestly, because Trick or Treat and Krampus are awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It's Barney.
I do appreciate that they actually built animatronic babies.
Yes.
Until they decide to go CGI for like the big intense
Yeah.
scenes.
So it's basically Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, where there's like only one
It's still
practical
you know what?
effect.
The contrast between the CGI babies here and like the CGI and animatronic babies, it's still not as jarring as going from an animatronic shark to a CG shark in Deep Blue Sea.
Oh my god.
Because like those CG sharks in Deep Blue Sea, it's like those don't even look like the same thing. Ooh, that does not hold up.
Oh.
They cannot see you if you move.
It's okay, they don't know how to open doors. Oh, the smelly Frenchman? Really?
Oh my god.
Don't say
I mean,
that.
well, that's what it's implying.
Yeah.
I mean,
This movie has not been kind to the French already, so why would they change their tune?
This movie hasn't been kind to anybody.
That's true. So wait, they say they smell like the fish. Would they have would those babies have attacked if they didn't smell like fish?
That's interesting. Yeah, because what if they just smell as regular meat and not fish, and they're like, well, we can still eat them. Or maybe their species is their like only fish kind of diet.
Right. Ooh, Lord, those CG effects.
Finally, someone died. Yes.
Yeah.
two people.
It's just going to be all the French soldiers.
Yes. Run, bitch! Run!
Got 40 more minutes.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, good.
It's almost-
There's a lot of breaking points in this movie for Godzilla fans. But for a movie called Godzilla that suddenly turns into Jurassic Park, like, why?
Yeah, Jurassic Park was only 5 years old when this came out. Not even, because they probably filmed it earlier.
I mean, this movie was actually, like, they've been trying to get an American Godzilla going since the early 90s.
Yeah, there's a reason why they didn't make a sequel until, or they didn't make another version till 16 years later.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like not even a year after this movie came out, Toho started making Godzilla movies right away. I think they were doing it just so a sequel to this could not be made.
Yeah, Godzilla 2000.
Yeah. I'm the mayor. I do have the authority.
I completely forgot how this sequence goes on for way too long.
It does, like this whole movie.
Yeah.
This
It's-
is the only
it's-
sequence that I remember from this movie.
It's another scenario that involves explosives or something exploding and a fire hose. It's reminding me of a much better movie.
Remind me
It-
again,
it-
Billy.
It's Die Hard.
Yes. Yes.
Huh, a busy line. That's something you don't.
Where
hear
did that
every day
shovel come
nowadays.
from?
Sprint.
Damn, he's only a quarter short.
Not the two Johns.
It's Gene.
Oh, sorry, Jeans.
I think it's Jean.
John. I was trying to say in the morning, kind of like a Spanish, kind of French,
I know.
but then the
We could just
English
call this
accent came along.
commentary Billy being problematic as fuck. But it is almost 6 o'clock. I am hungry. I want this film to just finish up so I can go and eat.
Yeah, run.
I've seen those like
if you
those...
see something pounding at the door, don't look and see what it is. Run away.
I mean, you clearly
I've seen
know
those
what
like
it is.
those glass.
All the more
things.
reason to run.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, Bacardi.
Needs more tables to hide under. That was a great death face, though.
So, all of
Oh, it's another
those-
Jean-Luc.
So, are they all John? John?
Yeah, there's Jean-Philippe, Jean-Luc.
What?
Is this guy Jean-Pierre or something?
Run.
No.
Like, he just stands there. Jesus.
Oh well.
I'd forgotten how, like, even if this wasn't a Godzilla movie, how stupid it is. Like, it's not even good for what it's trying to be.
Oh man.
They figured out how to open
Having a
doors.
difficult time with that simple door.
Oh look, there's a Blockbuster video.
Yes.
Yeah.
We used
Must
to
go
have-
faster.
We used to have a Blockbuster near where I live, and they've knocked it down, and they're gonna convert it into a cinema now. So I'm hoping it's an indie cinema because I just want to see some indie films at that cinema, like the Netflix films.
Nice.
So
Come on.
I love how when it comes to those French soldiers, they waste no time killing them off. But it's an American, so they gotta just take their time.
Also, he's the protagonist, so
Americans.
That's a little funny.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll give this movie that.
yeah.
That made me laugh. And not like in like a unintentional laugh. That was actually a legit laugh.
Yeah.
Oh god, Billy, this is reminding me of Die Hard. They're going up the air vents.
They got the same guns. Like they got the same guns that the terrorists have. I have a machine gun. Ho.
Again, a Godzilla movie that rips off everything but Godzilla. You know, for
Okay.
Broken Bones. For as long as this sequence is going, some of them should have left the building by now. Like, some of those babies should have broken free.
Yeah. Listen, I've never been to Madison Square Gardens, but I'm pretty sure they would have found the exit by now. Especially because of how big it is.
Right.
Oh my god, the camera is not important at this point, Hank. I'm sorry.
Run!
Yeah, run, Chief Wiggum.
Oh my. He didn't say the magic
Here's your
word.
code. And internet.
Here we go,
It's an
90s hacking
interactive
skills.
CD-ROM.
That was easy.
Wow, they tore through that door.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are way too many damn characters here. Again, considering how many babies there are, one of them should have gotten loose.
Yeah.
She's getting her Emmy. Audrey.
Again, I think the paleontologist should have been the main heroine of this movie
Yeah.
over Audrey, because she's a more interesting character.
And you can actually buy her as a character.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the most bland vanilla couple I've seen in a movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Welcome to Jurassic World.
I was gonna say that is like
Those kids watching look so bored out of their minds.
if I was a kid seeing this, I'd be like, wow, I'm terrified, and yet also I'm like, wow, I saw a massive giant monster. That's cool.
They would have been like Elizabeth Olsen's son in the 2014 movie.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh. Wow, that's the most realistic reporting I've ever seen in any movie.
You know, they didn't really have to do this as a broadcast. Yeah. Now, wait, was she fired from her job or no?
I think she was. No, she wasn't because Ken Brackman stole the report.
Okay.
Oh, there's Jean Reno giving that stern impression, or stern look.
Okay, I don't know what sport teams are in New York, but I imagine every New York sport team watching that moment was like, no!
Well, they just said that the Rangers were playing there, so.
Again, I don't know sports. Like, I only know the LA Lakers, Dodgers, and San Antonio Spurs.
Nice.
Fun fact, that's all I know as well about US sport. The only sport I actually like is cricket. I was a big cricket fan growing up. Okay, now they use the fighter jets.
Yeah. and still, and even then, the ending takes too long. They've eaten all the fish. Oh.
Then they'll be running. And,
They're like galloping.
Yeah.
like their runs are more gallops.
Yeah. I can just hear King Arthur in the background going, "Run away, run away, run away."
Nice.
Yes! That's the scene that I remember when I was little. That's my poor Godzilla's like, wee. And even my two brothers eating a banana and putting the peel in the floor. Interesting. They have the exit right there.
Exactly. It's like clearly there were babies at the exit,
Yeah.
and they're just standing there.
How many of these are there?
I don't even know. I don't care.
You know what? It made me so mad that I think I screwed up my recording. Damn it!
Oh no.
Oh, I like this.
I got like 12 files I got to send to you anyway. So this is going to be... I am having fun, though, talking with you guys.
It's alright.
This rapport is great.
Nice.
There's
But
the
I don't
fucking
know.
Taco Bell.
There's the fucking Taco Bell. I knew it was coming. In Madison Square Garden, of course, there's a Taco Bell.
I completely forgot Madison Square Garden is right next to Penn Station.
Or in this case, was.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh
Yeah, they were gonna. There's no way in fucking hell they would ever blow up Madison Square Garden like that, because there would be civilians everywhere.
Not even that, but there's no way 2 missiles would destroy it like that.
Yeah. I like how it looks kind of like Independence Day, the way that the White House blew up, like by levels.
It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same visual effects. I'm pretty sure.
Again, how did the guys who made Independence Day make a monster movie where the monster doesn't even cause that level of destruction? Like, how does
It's
that
dumb.
work?
I'll give you an answer, Alex. I don't know.
Again, in any other movie, this is the point where it should end.
Wait, if I remember
Aw.
correctly, doesn't Godzilla show up and they get chased in a taxi?
Oh, not at that. Oh, not at that.
Yeah.
There's another 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, I remember the taxi thing.
Yeah. It's like, it should cut to black right there. But, like, how the fuck is this movie still going on?
I haven't been this physically exhausted by a movie since Uncut
Matthew Brothers
Gems.
should say, "Mama's very angry."
Got that stupid Matthew Broderick face that he always makes. The, oh no, I'm surprised this is happening look. Yeah, they turned into statues.
Yeah.
And this is the moment when they fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck. Again, like, this giant monster is chasing these people on foot, and somehow they outrun the monster.
Where's the shot of the mirror of, like, you know, the mouth coming towards the mirror, like in Jurassic Park?
It's coming up.
Because I knew they did that. Although Toy Story 2 did it better.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
And that came out a year later.
Didn't Scylla use his fire breath right now? He would have killed them already.
It would have.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, Cars Jr.
I actually do appreciate that they wrecked this many cars.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Oh, there was another Taco Bell.
Yeah, no, Taco Bell in Kentucky. Oh my God,
Mr. French.
Yeah. Wow.
Discussing traffic.
Okay, that conversation right there is the equivalent of the that SNL sketch where
The Californians.
Yeah.
exactly like it's like that conversation is something only New Yorkers would get.
I fucking love the Californians.
What are you doing here?
You can take the I-10 and then go by Sepulveda.
He's having a difficult time getting that one taxi cab.
We go on Broadway to take the FDR down to Madison Square Garden. Even though none of those places are, I'm pretty sure they're nowhere near each other.
And miraculously, no one was killed.
Wow!
Okay,
How
Godzilla
the
would literally
fuck?
die from that.
Again, like, the monster's hauling ass,
Yeah.
and nobody feels the vibrations from his stomps, unlike when he just walks slowly.
Well, the camera didn't shake, so they I don't know. Who cares?
I'm surprised.
Who cares?
I'm surprised a Godzilla fan hasn't taken this movie and just did a re-edit where they edit out anytime someone says God. I'm surprised that never happened.
That's a lot of dedication.
Yeah, but even then, it wouldn't like they wouldn't change anything in terms of plot or story wise. They just mute it every time they say God. That way, you just hear, "He's back, sir. He's back. Zilla is still alive."
The fact that somebody went through this entire movie just for that, they deserve a medal.
Yeah.
Or a fruit basket or just something.
Right. This is like in King of the Monsters where Ghidorah is having a very difficult time crushing a helicopter just by smashing its heads into it.
Yeah, and yet they have no problem, like, utterly destroying Fenway.
Well, it's
But
like,
this
what is
one
that?
small helicopter, nope.
Yeah, it's like, is that helicopter made out of vibranium?
Yeah.
Also, Godzilla would have used the fire breath right now also.
Because this
It
is
would've.
Zilla, and yeah, you're right.
Sorry, I
Godzilla would
forget.
use his fire breath. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell no!
Like, watching this makes me grateful that I didn't see any other Godzilla movie before this, because I can't imagine being a lifelong fan and seeing this for the first time.
I bet it was
like you
soul crushing.
must just be exactly soul crushing to see this.
The Brooklyn Bridge.
Could have just swallowed it easily.
Yep, and it
Like-
has our heroes, but
No shit.
yeah, Mo.
Like, why is he chewing?
It's
That's
made
the
of
thing.
Well-
metal.
if he's
Well, you
chewing,
gotta chew your
shouldn't he be
food.
already dead also?
No, this is bullshit how they get out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of ways.
Ah!
But I mean, the fact that they were not swallowed already just shows you what kind of shit. Look at that.
Gums.
You can't do that. The bridge should not be able to support his weight. Like, no.
The science in this entire movie just does not make sense. I get it. It's a disaster movie. Suspend your disbelief. But come on. It's standing on top of the Brooklyn Bridge. Godzilla would just go through that thing like a pagoda.
Okay, now it's having an effect on the bridge.
But again, the bridge doesn't collapse. It still stands.
I mean, it's somehow figured out, again, for the third time, to run through a building and not make it collapse. I don't know how that's possible, but that's simultaneously awesome and terrible.
And now here comes the probably the biggest betrayal for Godzilla fans.
Okay.
Like that. That's like that's like probably the breaking point for any fan.
Yeah.
And I've actually heard crazy arguments of people defending this decision. I don't know.
What's up about this movie is we've run out of good ideas. We've run out of jokes.
Yeah.
I love you, Nick Takapotopoulos. You asshole.
And why are they supposed to make us feel sympathy for this?
Because it was like, everybody betrayed me. I'm fed up with this world.
Oh. Okay, I like that. And then Godzilla says to Matthew Broderick, I truly, deeply love you.
No, it was the beauty that killed the beast.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
We're not bringing Kong into this thing.
Because the way that it's framed, that is so tragic, it's kind of like, it was the beauty that killed the beast.
Yeah.
Hell, he was killed by airplanes.
He was killed by missiles while suspended in the Brooklyn Bridge, which didn't collapse under his weight. Also, missiles, like, the military throws that shit at him, like, all the time. It never works.
Yeah. Like,
and it's still raining.
Godzilla getting hit by missiles is like a tickle.
Okay, now it's dead.
It would have been cool if Scylla would have fought it and everybody exploded. Or like a burp of fire. Nothing.
I'm just going to warn you.
Yes, because that's what we needed in this movie.
Oh my god.
A fart
Yep,
or
who cares? Yay!
Hey,
Yay.
that's the thing, like,
Oh, thank fucking God.
Alexander, this movie's so dumb. It needed a fart. That's true. No one fought it.
Like, look, Godzilla fans have suffered enough. Like, they don't need to see a fake version of their monster fart or burp.
I'm gonna kill him. Oh yeah.
Yay! She got someone.
It's like the Raylo kiss,
Yes.
where it was not needed, but it's what we got.
Except in this movie, the characters actually rightfully regret it.
Oh, well, I mean,
my
then
God.
again, Ben Solo did die, so I guess that's how he paid for it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like, yay, and then he's dead.
Oh wait, G Sissel gave him a thumbs down. Get it?
Uh-huh.
I say thumbs up to that moment.
You're getting a promotion.
Matthew, you're gonna probably spend a lot of time editing my parts. I'm just warning you. Yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully this makes YouTube.
Don't worry, I think it will.
If not, you guys can hold this over my head for the rest of my life.
Or even better, I could if it doesn't work via YouTube, I could always upload it as like an audio file on like a podcast or something like that.
Yeah, but I just hope that we're able to get something out of this. Oh! Everybody gets a happy
Told him.
ending.
Yeah.
Hell, I've got the day off tomorrow, so I can at least like edit this for like. A
Hey,
while.
where's my tape?
Audrey.
Hey, Audrey, where's my tape? You know he's from New York also because he's got a backwards hat.
So that was the name of Jean Reno, Philippe.
Jean-Philippe, Luc Picard, Valjean. I don't know. Oh, it's Philippe.
Oh, bastard.
I no longer smell like fish. It is a good feeling.
Well, I'm telling you, your croissants stink.
That was terrible coffee.
And
Again,
your French fries, they're not good.
walking off in an alley in the rain. What a badass.
So
That's
this
not even a
movie
joke.
can
That's not even a
stop-
joke. That is pretty badass. Just walking
Yeah.
away in the rain in an alley.
Walking away in the rain so this movie will stop making jokes at the French's expense.
At least it wasn't the Japanese.
Oh, but they started with it.
Yeah, and mercifully
This
ended
movie
it.
started with indecent jokes towards the Japanese.
Don't forget
Okay.
about the sequel tease.
Yes, everything was destroyed, or was it? Also, I want to know about the cover song at the end.
Ugh.
How dare they use that? Well, first, how dare they do a sequel tease? He didn't learn his lesson because he did the same thing with Resurgence.
This is part of Sony. They always wanted a cinematic universe.
Sony and Warner Brothers. I say this as a Warner Brothers shill. I don't think so. Thank fucking God it's over. Yep, and the cover by using the the cashmere shit, I'm looking for the word. The track of Cashmere, you know, the da 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 da, with Jimmy Page and Diddy. All right, this movie's over. Thank fucking God.
I gotta say that was like I said that I'm less harsh on it now that the MonsterVerse exists, but oh, that was actually worse than I remember.
The MonsterVerse could not be. The MonsterVerse could not get worse than that. Like, it's not perfect by any means, but oh my God.
Yeah.
What's funny is that the person who came up with who has a story credit on this is also the story credit for Godzilla vs Kong as well.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Ted Elliott.
Ted Elliott. Yeah. Well, I mean, he like nothing in his original concepts got used in this movie.
Oh.
So you can't really blame him, because Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin even said, "Yeah, we like the story that Terry Russo and Ted Elliott came with, but I think we're just going to completely scrap that."
Yeah.
So you cannot really blame.
Let's hope for Godzilla vs. Kong that they actually did use some of his ideas, and let's hope that his ideas were good.
Well, because he's the actual writer on that movie. Yeah?
And again, they have a weird thing with like getting horror directors This is the second, or really third, horror director that they've gotten, because they got Adam Wingard from You're Next.
And The Guest.
And The Guest. How could I forget about that movie?
Yeah.
And he also did the what's it called? Oh man, I'm trying to think. Death Note.
Yeah, not his finest hour.
Not the best movie to do right before you're about to do Godzilla
Also,
versus Kong.
not the best adaptation in the world. I say this as somebody who loves anime. It's although Willem Dafoe is entertaining in that movie as Ryuk.
I don't doubt it.
But they don't have him in the makeup. That's the one thing. Like, they got this awesome, it looks like Ryuk, but it's just Willem Dafoe's voice. It's not his actual face, which I like. Put him in actual makeup. His face was made for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I've just paused the movie because I know there's no post-credit scene.
There's not. I mean, I'm still running the credits.
Nice.
I turned it off. I
just
couldn't.
muted I've muted that terrible song.
Yeah.
I exited it. I couldn't.
Well, I mean,
I just can't.
I'm letting the credits continue to play because at the end of the credits, they actually dedicate this film to the producer of the first 22 movies, and that's a giant spit in the face to dedicate this movie to the man who's pretty much responsible for this entire franchise.
Well, I mean, it's a nice sentiment, but when your product is crap, it doesn't mean anything. This is the most infuriated I've gotten on these watchalongs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I mean, having to honor this, dedicate this movie to Tomiyuki Tanaka was insulting, and his mentor, his protege, was actually the reason why this monster ends up in Godzilla Final Wars, and gets killed by the real Godzilla in less than 30
That
seconds.
was great when they put he gets bitch slapped into the Sydney Opera House. Oh man, that was so cool.
And then blown to smithereens.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna stop recording, and
yeah, I forgot.
Actually, before we stop recording, this was thank you for listening to our presentation not presentation, but our watch along of 1998's Godzilla. You can find me at MattMovies1998. Where can we find the rest of you three?
you can find me on Twitter at bbusterbill. You can find me on Instagram at Billy Batson's Lightning. Yeah, I'm always around. Hopefully this makes it into an audio file or YouTube. I'm sorry if this does not happen, but yeah, no, it'll be my fault. And this was fun, even though I went through a lot of emotions. Let's just end it there.
And I'm Raul. You can find me at Stardust, Instagram, and Twitter at Raul Vader RDC. And thank you guys for coming. Also, because I don't know if it was Matthew Alexander that chose this movie. Now you ruined my childhood. Now I don't like this movie anymore.
Again, I think we did a public service.
Yeah.
And thank you, Alexander, our expert, Godzilla expert.
No problem. And as for me, you can find me on youtube.com/The Real Mr. Robinson, Twitter at Real Mr. _Robinson, Instagram at The Real Mr. Robinson. And if you are a fellow Godzilla fan, at the time we are recording this, I am in the middle of my own watch along for the entire Godzilla franchise. I just finished 1984's The Return of Godzilla, and again, at the time I'm recording this, the next one up will be Godzilla vs. Biollante from 1989.
Ooh, the environmental Godzilla.
One of the most underrated Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
Cool.
It really is.
All right, that was okay. So this is Matthew Farrelly sign off, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye bye, everyone.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.